For more on this subject, Mukesh Kapila joins me now live from Manchester in the UK. He's a former emergency response director at the WHO. Great to have you with us, quite timely as well. Don't you think it's quite ironic that right now, we're discussing, well, the world is discussing creating a global treaty, and we're seeing many countries not listening to the WHO and going ahead and closing their borders to countries in South Africa and their neighbours?
Yes, indeed. It also shows that all this rhetoric around global health is just that when it comes to a national consciousness of its own self-interest, then that self-interest will always prevail. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean to say there should not be international cooperation in health, but the discussions around the pandemic treaty, for example, indicate the conflict of interests that there are around the topic.
And just, while I have you on this subject, what do you think of the travel bans?
Well, I think that travel bans might buy a few days of time for the richer world. It will do nothing for the poorer world. And in the end, the new variant is going to spread. And whether or not it's worth the disruption for a few days of breathing space, if you can call it that, is worth it or not, in my opinion, no. I think the travel ban or travel restrictions are not justified. They didn't work in the past. They're not going to work now.
But didn't they work in Australia and New Zealand? Is that not an example?
Well, I suppose if you are living on an island at the edge of the earth, so to speak, in this geopolitical context, and you go for a zero COVID approach, and you massively disrupt your economy, you massively restrict the rights of people to travel in and out, then I suppose you could say that. You could also lock yourself into your own house and go nowhere. That would also do a great deal to stop the spread of disease. But that's hardly practical in a modern world where we are interconnected and rely on each other for both for all the good things that are developing the world.
And just, on this global treaty by the WHO, it's incredible. I mean, right now, in the last hour, there's so much mixed messaging with regards to Omicron. We've had the WHO warning that the risk related to the COVID variant Omicron is very high. A few minutes later, South Africa's health minister says there is no need to panic over the Omicron variant. I mean, what does this do to people? Surely countries and people are going to see this mixed messaging and think, why should I be part of a global treaty?
Well, I think people and countries have to become more sophisticated. Nothing in life is black and white. Both messages are correct. South African health minister is absolutely right. Panic isn't going to take us anywhere. And the WHO is also right in that it is saying that we need to understand more about the virus, and we need to make a balanced response to this new variant. So in that sense, the world and ministries of health around the world need to become more skilled at balancing the risks and the benefits of various interventions. And this is what COVID has taught us very amply over the last period of time.
And we are just weeks away from the biggest travel season of the year. We'll leave it there, but thank you so much for your expertise and time. Mukesh Kapila, live there from Manchester and former director of the emergency response at the WHO. Thank you.
Thank you.